I'm just gonna turn this on and I'm just gonna talk. No particular destination in mind, but it seems like the kind of thing that I should be sitting in front of a camera as I'm going through these thoughts because 6 months from now, future me is gonna appreciate this. Thinking about my father, I gave that man so much shit when I was younger. I thought he was a failure as a father. I thought that he wasn't doing his job. I felt like he made a lot of simple mistakes that could have been avoided if he had just used some common sense. And now, ripe to old age of 41 years old, I'm a husband and a father myself, and I realized that that man just did things in his own way. Didn't care what people thought of him. He did it. That was his thing. And what's worse is that I don't think he really had a support system in place. My mother, I don't think was very supportive. I look at my parents and I wonder how they were ever married, or worse, how they got married twice. I don't see it. He got married again to a woman named Otha Johnson, and she wasn't supportive either. She was that was my first real taste of ghetto. I think these were just ghetto people who just wanted to live off the system, and he wanted more. She passed away, and I remember her passing away, and we were actually relieved because she had tried to stick him with all these medical bills that from illnesses she had even before they were married. I never thought that was fair. He got married again to a woman from the Philippines, and she wasn't very supportive. Then she had, like, we used to say, she had like four action phrases because all she could really say was like four things in English. I mean, I'm sure now she's better, but she wasn't as supportive as he needed to be, and I wonder how alone he must have felt. Here's a man just struggling to get by. Just just wanted to do his thing. Just wanted to provide for his family. And what was I? I was the ungrateful black sheep of the family who, in my mind, was convinced that you had to pay the light bill anyway. You had to pay the rent anyway. Why should I have to give you money? This is your house. I'm your son. This is my room. You should be doing that. And I talked down about him. Never to his face. I mean, I wasn't an asshole, but I always had these negative things to say about him. And it wasn't until much later in my adult life that I really began to understand him. Now I realize how great a man he was, how he did so much with so little, how he was able to accomplish so many things with no support system. And you fast forward, man, it's 2016, it's the future. My son's an adult. I'm out here doing it in California. No help from family. It's just me, my family in California. Haven't worked in almost a year. Haven't collected unemployment in over 2 months. Been living solely off income tax checks and odd jobs and miracles. And it's stressful. It's stressful, and the weight of the world is on my shoulders daily. But what I have that he didn't have is a support system. My wife, she's sitting back there. My wife is the most beautiful woman on the planet, the most resourceful and supportive woman I have ever been with. And I'm grateful. Because as hard as this is for me sometimes, it could be harder. My son, computer genius. Bit of an asshole, but genius. Can put together and take apart a computer. Funny, smart, willing to help, so much further along than I was at his age. At 19 years old, I was so entitled. Felt like the world owed me something. I used to even say, look, I'm not in jail. I don't have a bunch of kids. I don't drink. I don't smoke. It's like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Why is the world not handing me things? And he doesn't suffer from that delusion. He realizes he has to work for it. And I don't know if that's a tribute to my father teaching me and then I passed it to him, or if he's just that damn smart. But he put it together long before I did. Every now and then I hit these low points where I feel this way, and I just want things to get better. And I'm wondering if I'm doing enough, if I could be doing more, if there are other avenues I could be exploring. I mean, I'm on Craigslist all the time, but there's more than Craigslist. I need to broaden my perspectives. There's more. There's got to be more to this. And I'll find it, because at the end of the day, this is what we do. My family is a group of survivors. My wife was in a homeless shelter. Around the same time, my son and I were in a homeless shelter. Funny that we weren't together. We were in two completely different states, but we've had worse. We've lived with people and had roommates. I've slept in abandoned high schools with my son. I've been worse off than this and was able to pull myself up. So this, I need to pull myself up from, because I'm a survivor. Every now and then I get a little down and I'm wondering what more I could be doing, but you got to remember that this is, as far as situations go, bad, but I've had worse. Hell, it's first week of May. I haven't paid the rent for April yet. We had to borrow money to make sure the lights didn't get turned off. Had a quote unquote family member run out on us and take whatever he could get his hands on the way out. But we're still here. And we survive, because it's what we do. And if things have to get a little worse before they get better, so be it. I mean, I say that because it sounds good. It sounds really good to say that, like, oh yeah, so be. But I don't want them to get worse. I want them to get better. But if they get worse, we'll get through it. Because that's what we do. For better or worse, we survive.